So hi, this is San Francisco Liberal Buzz, and we've been talking about the planned soccer stadium for Golden Gate Park, which is going to include fake grass, fake lighting. It's going to be at the western edge by the ocean near the Dutch windmills, is it?
Yes, that's correct.
And we are we are fervently against this project. But despite all the noise people have made against it, they still voted 4-0, and even at the appeals they voted unanimously to go forward with the project. So where are we now with it?
That's a good question. Maybe I should give a little more background for people so they can understand why we're so concerned about the project. The project is planned for the western end of Golden Gate Park, and there's a large meadow there that's about 7 acres. One of the things they want to do is to take out all the grass in that meadow and to put in artificial turf. And also to, we have a picture there. In the picture in the foreground is the Beach Chalet athletic fields. And you'll notice that the park extends into the city. And part of the plan for the park was that the eastern end of the park would be the busier and more active part of the park. But as you get towards the western end of the park, it's supposed to be quieter, wilder, more natural until you get to the Pacific Ocean and the beauty of the ocean. The Beach Chalet fields are a beautiful area. The next photo there will show you what they look like today. This is the Beach Chalet athletic fields, and although it's very hard to see in the very far distance, you can see the Dutch windmill. So this is located between the two historic windmills and next to the historic Beach Chalet. Another thing that this project will do is it totally destroys the historic character of the area, because when you put in the artificial turf, you're also putting in more sidewalks, expanding parking by 33%. There's going to be 150,000 watts of night lighting on 60-foot poles, and there will be 60 additional lights there. There will be seating for over 1,000 people. This is a soccer complex. This is not a naturalistic area.
Have they planned for that many people parking in the area?
Well, that's another thing. They're going to bring in more people. So Ocean Beach, on a good day, the parking lot's packed already. So we're going to have even more people out there. The next picture shows the planned project.
Oh dear, there
and
we go.
This project, you can see how rectilinear it is. So we completely destroys the
Hi, you're on the air at San Francisco Liberal Buzz.
Hi, I'd like to make a comment when it's available to be aired.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, you mean now?
Yeah, you can go ahead and give your comment now.
I'm listening to the presentation, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but go ahead and interject with something if that's all right. Is
Sure,
that okay?
that's fine.
I don't want to interrupt the presentation, but I do want to comment as soon as this is over.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go on. It'll just be a minute or two more.
Okay.
So as you can see in the drawing here, which is done by the people who want to do the project, that is over 7 acres of artificial turf. And what they do is they take out the topsoil and they put in a foot of gravel. They put in plastic carpet. And for this project, they're putting in ground up old tires. The white areas you see are concrete. To give you an idea, scale, the center sidewalk is 30 feet wide. And then there's sidewalks all around, and there's almost an acre additional concrete in addition to the expansion of the parking lot. The next picture will show the lights. The lights are going to be 60 feet tall. I call this the War of the Worlds photo. And they are twice as tall as the trees that separate the project from the beach, because at the beach the trees are all trimmed by the wind. They're not going to get any taller. So when you go out to Ocean Beach, you're going to see these lights. And the last picture that is on there will give you a little bit of a location for people who are not too familiar with what happens out at Ocean Beach. So this is at Ocean Beach looking back at the Beach Chalet restaurant. And that was a beautiful night when there was a full moon coming up. And where I've written 150,000 watts of light, that's where the lights are going to be for the soccer fields.
So when the moon sets, it'll just look kind of like, it won't look like that anymore.
When you come out to watch the sunset, or people have fire rings on the beach in the dark, and people also stargaze. Land's End is one of the premier stargazing places in the Bay Area. And so this will have an impact on all of this and just on people's experience of the area as a beautiful wild area. Will be completely destroyed.
Just so someone can play a game that a mule could play.
Well, we support youth soccer, and
Yeah.
we'd like the fields to be renovated with grass for youth soccer. But the
Yeah.
artificial turf, and Noreen will talk a little bit about habitat, destroys habitat, and the lighting also does, and it destroys the beauty of the area for everybody who visits. Thousands of people visit this area every year, and many people come out in the evening.
They do. They do. It's a beautiful place to go any time of day, really. I enjoy it myself. I've been going there since the early 50s, since the mid 50s, and I can't imagine it, the carousel being gone or any of it. I can't imagine it being the Japanese tea garden, a lot of it. I just can't imagine them privatizing so much of our common space.
And that is part of what is going on here. The lighting is really for the adult soccer leagues, and I think it's great adults play soccer, but if they have members from out of town, then they pay a higher fee into the city. So part of this is a privatization and commercialization of the park, and it also locks out all the people who would like to use the park as a natural area for walking their dogs, flying kites, or just running around on lawn.
Would you like to show some birds?
Yes, actually, I'd like to talk a little bit about the project and the impact to some of the birds that will be affected. Right now, Golden Gate Park is a site where a variety of birds migrate through. It's at the western end of the park. This is a western meadowlark, and this is one of the birds that you might see out there now using the grassy fields.
Are they which ones are protected? Any of them?
Well, they're all protected under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, but and this is a red-tailed hawk. This is one of the hawks that hunt in the field.
Keep the mouse population down.
Right. And this is a bird that you'll see in the winter. It's a ruby-crowned kinglet. They eat small insects on the trees. This is an Anna's hummingbird, and this is one of the birds that is just starting to nest now. And this is another one of our winter visitors to the park. It's a Townsend's warbler. This bird comes from the north and stays here for the winter. And this is a great blue heron, and this bird comes and will hunt gophers that are in the field. But if we have artificial turf, there will be no gophers there. And this is a song sparrow, one of the birds that is a resident in the park. This is a killdeer, and you will hear that bird. It flies at night and makes the call, killdeer, killdeer. And this is one of the birds that you might see in the summer. It's a goldfinch, American goldfinch. And a northern flicker is one of the woodpeckers that we see in Golden Gate Park. It makes cavities in the trees that other birds use for nesting. And the site of this proposed project is very problematic for birds because it's right at the western end of the park near Ocean Beach, and many birds use that as a pathway. It's called the Pacific Flyway, which is a major migratory route for birds in the spring and the fall.
Sure.
And so with all of this lighting, many birds can be drawn off course, and especially on the foggy nights that we have that are very frequent, there will be this large sky glow, and birds can be drawn off course. There have been scientific studies that have shown that. And the elimination of the grass fields will be the equivalent of laying asphalt or concrete. I mean, basically it will destroy all of that habitat. Today the birds are eating insects and a variety of things from the grasses, the seeds, and that will all be gone when they put the artificial turf down. So the lighting will impact the birds because the lights will be on until 10 p.m. and so the birds that normally nested in the area, that will impact their ability to rest and sleep and raise young. And so this is just a very bad project in terms of wildlife. You know, people come to the park to enjoy listening to the birds sing and to view the birds, but this will be a large habitat loss if this project proceeds.
Isn't there an impact with predators also if you have lighting at night? I remember reading something about that.
Actually, you know, some areas will be lit up, and so it will be easier to see where cavities are, where birds would nest inside, or you know, other species will stay away because it's so lit up. You know, normally they're nocturnal creatures, and those creatures will not want to use that area.
In fact, with the lighting, there's something. The project proponents say that because the lights are shielded, which means they have a cap that comes down, that that there won't be much light spill from the sporting lights. But what they don't talk about is the fact that there will be reflection off of the artificial turf, and it'll be 10 to 20 times brighter than it is now. And when we have a marine layer, of course we never have fog in the western part of San Francisco, but when we have the fog, it's like little tiny mirrors, and the light it's just going to be this glowing cloud over the park. So now where you have the beauty of the depth of the darkness and also the habitat, the lights will glow out there.
Well, of course, birds have a biological cycle like everybody else. Nobody wants it to be light all 24 hours a day, or would you want it light 24 hours a day where you were trying to sleep? Yeah, so it's just people being short-sighted, not thinking of wildlife here. And so what do we have to do to stop this?
Well, we have alternative. First of all, we have alternatives we've proposed. There are other parts of the city where you could modify the fields to get more hours of play. We like the grass fields at Beach Chalet to be fixed up. I'm a landscape architect, and I know there are things you could do. Subsurface drainage, because it's kind of soggy out there.
Can you convince them that it's cheaper to maintain the natural fields rather than artificial ones? Because artificial ones have to be replaced periodically, don't they?
Artificial fields will have to be replaced within 8 to 10 years, and the reason we know that is that's how long the warranty is. And if you have a no warranty,
how much?
Millions of dollars. So there will be over 30 acres of artificial turf fields in the city when these are completed, and we figure it'll be $6 to $8 million to replace all of them. That's the cost of one park project, $6 to $8 million.
As compared to somebody who just has to mow the lawn now and then and maybe keep it watered and fertilized and whatever they do.
There is an advantage, we admit, to artificial turf. You can play on it longer, and that's why we're saying if you have to do it, you pick an area that's not so sensitive to wildlife and habitat. But you fix up Golden Gate Park with real grass, keep it natural, keep it growing, keep the habitat, and then if you have to, West Sunset Playground has been proposed. It's as big as Golden Gate Park, and it has real grass. So
Sunset Playground?
Yeah, West Sunset. You could switch the materials if you had to. Now, not everybody is in favor of artificial turf, but that is something that the city insists on hours of play. Another thing to remember is that this project is very expensive. It's $13 million. The polo fields were renovated with real grass for a little over $1 million, and this is smaller. So you could do a very basic renovation for $1 million. You could spend a few million more, do a great renovation, and you could take the rest of that bond money and you could use that on other playing fields in San Francisco. So these are different alternatives that we would like to have considered. We haven't had much luck with it, so what we're doing now is there are two legal options open to us. One is we've appealed the project to the California Coastal Commission. A lot of people don't know that the California Coastal Commission has jurisdiction over this end of the park. It's very interesting. From Chain of Lakes out to the beach, for this kind of project, they have jurisdiction. And so we have gone and appealed, and when we first talked about doing it, the city said we can't, but the Coastal Commission said, no, they can appeal. And
was
so
this before or after the appeal process?
This is what we had to go through the whole appeal process with the Board of Supervisors and the two appeals at the Board of Appeals. and after that we filed with the Coastal Commission. So we have over 200 individuals and organizations who have filed those appeals. This is a record for the California Coastal Commission for the entire state. Nobody has ever filed this many appeals. And that hearing will be probably in Northern California in the late spring. We don't have a date yet. And I'm just going to put in a plug. We do have our little postcards that we're doing for people to fill out and send in, and you can get them through our website, and we'll send them to you. And you don't have to live in San Francisco to do this. We've gotten people from Japan who came to the Green Festival who filled these in. So we are trying to send these in. We're going to gather them and send them into the Coastal Commission.
And you'll be at some festivals. Will you be at the Anarchist Book Fair, for instance, on March 16th and 17th?
We're going to try to be at some festivals. We'll have them listed on our website.
sfoceansedge.org. Okay, yeah,
and
go to the website, people.
And the other thing is that part of our group has formed their own group, and they filed a lawsuit under CEQA, California Environmental Quality Act. So that's a lawsuit to the Superior Court about the artificial turf, because they think there are problems with the rubber infill that the city did not carefully consider, and the city did not carefully consider alternatives. So that's a separate lawsuit that's going on also. With all of this legal stuff going in, the other thing, we will ask people to go to our website, or you can go to We Pay Save Golden Gate Park and donate, because we do need donations. Attorneys are wonderful and they give their all, but they do require some money. They have to live too, so please, if people can donate, we'd appreciate that. So those are the action items now. Is the cards. Go to the website, sign up with us, help us come to the fairs, help us give out cards, go to your group. We'll come to your group, we'll talk to your group, and get more cards and give them to your friends. The cards are wonderful because people get them and then they give them to some of their friends who give them to some of their friends, and we're getting in 5 or 6 a day now.
How about Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
We are on Facebook, SF Ocean Edge Facebook. Sign up on Facebook and we'll send you notifications on that.
That's a great way to social network too.
Yeah.
So that's great. So we have a caller on the
Yes,
line. Are you still there, caller?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you're so patient. Bless you. You're so patient. Okay, so go ahead.
I just wanted to comment on the cost of this project. We heard that it's $13 million. I want to let you know that about half of that money is supposed to be coming from a private entity called the City Fields Foundation, which is basically formed by the Fisher family. And the sadness on this gift, which is an awful lot of money, is that they're calling the shots. The city is now in an agreement with them where the City Fields are telling the city what it is they want the city to do with their donation. It's not just a check that, can go through a regular process. It's being controlled by this outside entity. And that's one of the problems that we're seeing, is that there isn't really much negotiation that they're willing to do, because they want what they want. And that means that they're taking over our most valuable treasure in all of San Francisco, which is Golden Gate Park. Nobody has access to this except the citizens, except for now this family. And the City Field Foundation is getting in behind closed doors and doing what they want with our land. And that's something that I'm deeply concerned about, is when it was mentioned that there was commercialization and privatization, that's what it means. Our public lands are being taken over by other people that have a lot of money. So I just want to bring that to your attention. And yes, we can do a wonderful project out there for the citizens and the kids and anybody that loves soccer with real grass, just like they have in Europe. For the real people that would like to experience the proper way of playing soccer. That's my personal opinion. Thank you so much for letting me speak with you.
Thank you, caller. That was a great call, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about that? That she said that it was considerably less to build it, some few million less than you were saying.
Yes, I think we can do the grass for much less and have money left over for some other amenities. Also, the last bond that was passed for West Sunset, they, strangely enough, are putting real grass there. But they have money for that. So there's money for both projects. There's money to do it right. And it's just a matter basically of switching the materials between the two parks so that we can preserve Golden Gate Park, we can preserve the historic context, we can preserve the habitat, we can preserve it as a multi-use area as described in the Golden Gate Park Master Plan, where the park is recreation but it takes place within a natural setting, and that's the overriding design concept of Golden Gate Park, and I think that's why people love it so much, because in Golden Gate Park you go out during the day and you maybe run around on a lawn, or you know, you play ball with friends, but at night when you go home the darkness falls and it returns to nature, and that's the beauty and the gift of Golden Gate Park, and that's what we're trying to preserve.
Sure, and I really thank you for that very much, for being, and thank you for being my guests here today. Sorry the show is so short, but remember, viewers, go to sfoceanedge.org and donate if you can. We need all the help we can get to litigate through, because there's people with deep pockets and we've got to match them. So please do what you can to help. Maybe join Facebook and like their page if you're on Facebook too.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Denise.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
From the
it.
Audubon Society,
Yes.
we had Noreen Weeded and Katherine Howard from the SF Ocean Edge. And thank you so much for your work. We'll see you at the Anarchist Book Fair on March 16th and 17th, and there's other festivals too. Watch for them, because we'll be there with these cards, and you can fill these cards out and send them in so that we can, anyway, we're over. So bye-bye.